The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And as we check in with the markets, S&P's off 3 points. The Dow is up 1 point. NASDAQ off 15. Well, let's call it 14. So far, standard kind of Monday volume, 1.8 million shares, but kind of a tick up from at least a little bit from previous Mondays. So we're starting to have a little bit more juice come through on options rollover. That continues through tomorrow, Wednesday. We probably will have fairly good, decent market move one way or the other. I can't imagine that we sit here for more than Wednesday. We've got some earnings. We'll talk about that. And I think that's about it. It's kind of all quiet on the Western Front, looking for earnings. Hurry up and wait continues on this week. But I have a feeling that the market's going to have, it's going to digest enough earnings by Wednesday or so that we're going to either see some kind of incredible move to unthinkable prices like 2000, or we're going to see a revaluing of the market. And we'll see. It's going to be close. Close.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1983, a suicide bomber drives a truck filled with 2,000 pounds of explosives into a U.S. Marine Corps barracks at the Beirut International Airport. The explosion kills 220 Marines, 18 sailors, and 3 soldiers. A few minutes after that bomb went off, a second bomber drove through the basement of nearby French paratroopers barracks, killing 58 people more. 4 months after the bombing, American forces left Lebanon without retaliating directly. And it started a new, I'm going to say kind of a Cold War in the Mideast. A scant 7 years after this, I would meet one of the people that lived in Beirut. He was a Christian in Beirut, and many people in his family, I think, oh man, it's been a while since I talked to him. But one of my engineers that went to work for us, pretty nice guy. In fact, I would say probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He had to leave, went to Canada, became an engineer, did very well, very thoughtful. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but acceptable. And he told me a great deal about it was to live there. If you've never known, everybody, I think most people think Beirut is kind of like it's always been. Previous to about that 1980 area, it was thought of as one of the most beautiful places in the world to go to the beach and hang out at. But extremism pushed Beirut into a civil war that lasted, seems like, forever. And we had pretty much a CIA contracted war with extremists since then. And it's at times gotten worse, like 9/11, and probably for the last 15 years. But I think this was the day that it really started in 1983. And what else can you say? Let's go ahead and start looking at charts. Wanted to start looking at a few of them, and then we'll get into earnings in the rest of the day. We're off 3 points in the S&P cash. Like I said, volume 1.84 billion shares, so that's not a lot happening. Starting to see a few tech stocks look like they're running out of juice. I've never thought much about Box. BOX is the symbol on this one as an IPO. They had the CEO out pounding the pavement last week trying to talk this stock up. And you had kind of a nice little bounce on Friday, kind of getting back out of that and back into the trading range. We're looking for the June 2nd high at $20.91 that had 5 million shares. 3.2 million shares on Friday, which wasn't enough. And now we're pulling back today on 800,000 shares. So if we close below that 2091 in the next day or so, then that's going to be a false breakout of that June 2nd high. Handful of other stocks that seem to be rather interesting before we get into the ones that many people are talking about. Let's redraw this here for a second. Did I do that right? There we go. Lululemon. I've been watching this one. Continue to wonder whether or not this is a form of apparel wear is different than Dick's Sporting Goods or the rest of them. You certainly are back in with this being down almost 50 million shares on the, 30th of March. We're back into it with 1.6 million shares. So if anything, you're getting a fairly light retest back into this $65 area. We'll see how this goes, but today volume pretty bad, 1.4 million shares. Friday you had 3.5 million shares on kind of a lot of news, but yeah, I don't know if there's anything more to say other than this thing is going to be up against fairly tough resistance all the way higher than this price, and whether the question is whether people are going to continue to buy Lululemon stuff, or is this one truly insulated from Amazon and the Amazon effect of them eating everything. It's another interesting one. Did I get to? I did not. I need to fire something else up here. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Stamps.com. Wanted to check in on this one. This one's kind of hanging up at these highs. $220, $226 spike on October 16th, but just 445,000 shares. So basically a third or a fourth of the August 2nd high. Had a little spike out there today, 178,000 shares. Got a nice big gap out here. You'd think that this thing would probably get back and get tested at least some level. It's hard for me to understand that they're doing well. It's harder for me to understand that these guys are printing $226 on this stock. But what else can you say? When we come back, we'll look at the Southern Company and talk about that one. It's up here testing a previous high on half volume. And then we'll get into some of the other earnings out here today. A couple of them at least. A tale of good and a tale of woe. We'll be back.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Again, you can always email me at path@tfnn.com or give me a call at 877-927-6648. Got a lot of stuff going on up here today. Get rid of some of the spam, and we'll be back off to the races. Southern Company, of course, the railroad company. June 16th, 8.6 million shares at 51.97. We're looking at 4 million shares here on Friday. Today, we got a little doji at 1.4 million shares. Energy's about the same, up on the way down, so probably not the instant turnaround that we're looking for. A lot of people have been looking for stocks in the marijuana business that actually aren't frauds. There are a great deal of them. I might say 99% of them are fraudulent. Scott's Miracle-Gro, not one of those. Actually making a lot of money in the business of selling fertilizer for, I don't think they uniquely say that that's what it's for, but big business. And of course, huge amounts of marijuana fields burnt out in California suggest that maybe the rest of the country might want to get in on the gold, as it were. So, well, I've been watching this one anyway. You had August 1st high at 99.91, 1.2 million shares, and you had 101 on the 18th. It stayed underneath that range. Energy's about the same on the way down as it is on the way up, but this thing's getting ready to take that. Victor, what's going on?
Yeah, what do you think of BGG? It has some big candles. I don't know. It's like open lower and it's going all over the place.
Briggs and Stratton. Well, you're going into winter. They've made some fairly decent money because of the hurricanes. They make motors that do go on generators.
Right.
So it's been kind of interesting. That's pretty much that August 24th low out here on this thing. Well, I don't think it's probably getting worse. Is this as good as it gets? Is that your question?
Yeah, like what does it have? Why did it open up lower that day? That big gap down.
I think they were saying that they had some problems, if I remember the news. I can look it up, but to me, what is that? October 17th. Do I have that? BGG. I think they said something about their forecast, but I don't think a lot of people.
Nah, I saw some big institutions sold some stuff. That was about it.
You know what? If you're a big institution, you've owned this dog for a while, and you get a hurricane and the thing gives you a gift, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't sell. The only thing I'm trying to think of is just how much of that small engine business do they really have that much anymore? And probably a little less. Huh?
They do the generators.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is how many of those generators are really made in Asia now? And so for me, I'd probably be ringing the register up here on it. You know, you had a nice move up there from $20 to 25. So I can't see anything other than that. I can't see how they're immensely competitive to Asian manufacturing. So I'd have to say this looks awful fairly valued at this price, around 24 or 25 bucks.
What would you say on Intel? It just keeps on running every day, and it's coming out Wednesday too. Thursday.
I think I said it midsummer. This looked as good as Microsoft did before it broke out of its 10-year hiatus of doing anything. This thing kind of doing the same thing. They've got a lot of new products. I think a lot of people are trying to get in front of what will probably be a good 2 or 3 years ahead of them. So, is this it today? I don't know. It will be a lot of back and forth, but I think what you want to do is go back and look at Microsoft. This is a fundamental call, not a technical call. But Intel is just literally doing all the right stuff, just like when Microsoft got its new CEO, and he decided that he was going to do everything right after 10 years of everything being done wrong. Intel's didn't have 10 years of everything wrong. They just had 10 years of not much imagination. Wasn't wrong so much. A lot of stuff in Microsoft was out wrong. But Intel, they've got several good businesses that should open up and do well for them in the near future. They still dominate 99% of the cloud business. What's that?
What are those new businesses? The drone business, John? Like I sort of into that now.
No. Most of it is being able to do a lot of stuff inside the CPU and memory. They've got a new form of memory that's going to pretty much take over the world. We talked about that before, so there's nothing new in that. It's been around for a year. But if you're looking at why Micron and Intel have all kind of broken out into these new highs, it's going to be all that new memory. Intel, of course, is going to have a lot of competitors, or going to be competition in both in two new sectors of machine learning and on mobile. So, they, like I said, they're just turning things around from being rather stagnant to.
It's overpriced right now, or no?
It could be. Again, my comments on this are long-term fundamentals. They're not the next month or 2 months, but a year, 2 years down the line. Most of these companies have had, huge sideways consolidations based on the CEOs basically doing nothing, but making sure nothing bad happened. They made sure nothing good happened either. And now that they've got some people that are both, I'm going to say Microsoft and Intel are very much the same. They had one of their top engineers running Intel, and one of the guys that was the sharpest at running some of the businesses inside Microsoft became the new CEO over there. And these guys are kind of take no prisoners, very smart guys. And I think you can look at the Microsoft chart and probably interpolate that into Intel, and maybe in 2 years it's a $60 stock.
Right. Would you buy now or wait until Wednesday after witching, when it goes?
Yeah, I'm not going to be buying into earnings on anything. So I think
higher.
Huh? It could. I'd wait till
earnings?
I'd wait till a pullback. I wouldn't buy it here, but I think you're going to the next decent pullback on the thing on light volume. Where do you think
if
that's what you wanted, huh?
Where do you think it would go to? Like what price?
Over 2 years, I think $60.
No. I mean, where do you think it would pull back to? Like 10-day average, 50-day?
$38 is probably where support is.
Yeah. All right.
So I like that big candle out here. It's probably going to come back into that candle the 2nd of October. Thanks for the call. We'll be back in just a minute. And you can give me a call at 877-927-6648.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. Anyway, question about IYT and whether you'd short it now. I know, I guess it's Steve Rhodes been talking about this as a potential short. I don't know what positions he has, if any, on this, but I think he's talked about it in the Tiger's Den. For me, this is kind of a long road up from the about the 29th of August. He had one day where it kind of dipped back under, and then it came right back out. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You got about 17 days of up thrust in this before it peaked at 181.57. You got a couple of days underneath it. Now you got a couple of days above it. So for me to pull the trigger, I'd probably look at a close below the 3x3. Again, you're going to get an extra 50 cents on the trade. I like it. I see the target's 169. The only thing I have is no real signal for me to pull the trigger. Not that it looks bad. In fact, it looks good. You've got a down day of 155,000 shares on the 13th. You're back into it with 96,000 shares on Friday and 90,000 today. You open up a little bit. You're going to have a little bit more down volume out here. But for me, all you really want to do is see this thing probably break this 179 level again, and that should get your acceleration back to 169. Again, I'm not going to be pulling a lot of triggers today. With options roll over tomorrow, you may see a little bit of a bounce. To me, if you think that this thing's going to roll, I can't, I don't have a crystal ball. But if I did, I'd say that crystal ball says that your turn date is probably going to be on Wednesday. So, I like the trade. Will you have to sit a couple of days? I think so. So I'm not going to be, to me, I looked at this thing and I thought, okay, it's one of many I'm looking at for tomorrow. We'll see what the action's like and or Wednesday. But market's fairly weak. The NASDAQ's led us up. It's now the weakest. You're probably going to see these, like the IYT, some of these other things continue down. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that stuff. Not a bad trade. I just wish the thing would just get down and you'd pick up some volume. So maybe tomorrow we see that. And maybe you're just ahead of the game a day or two before. I would have pulled the trigger on it, potentially. So just a little ahead of at least where I would be on it. But, this market can fail at any time. I've made no bones about it. It is a very dangerous market. And for the most part, I think you want to be in options. I don't think you want to be sitting in a lot of equities. The market's going to break either way. Puts and calls are cheap. So if I was playing that at $178, I don't know why I would play anything other than the puts on this. So it's just my thoughts. Risk reward's got to be fairly good. I'll look at them during the break and see if there's anything in those. You really need to pull the trigger on the puts today, I would imagine. Maybe late in the day. Of course, with options, you all kind of have to anticipate. You can't wait and react. But that's what it would be. Okay, what else do we have? Is that today? It is today. Okay, so let's start talking about earnings. We had a few out here already this morning. The big winner of the day in the up, and away is VF Corporation. They make a lot of clothing. They apparently have done extremely well in Europe. Saying did gap up, had some huge volume. What do they make? They make like Timberline boots and a lot of other stuff. So, yeah, nice pop. Let's go back and look at this thing. Nice consolidation from August 8th. This thing did nothing but go sideways until last Thursday. Gapped up a little for expiration and then popped hard today. On the downside, it's Hasbro. Toy companies doing rather poorly. I don't see anything changing in that one. If it's sold in a mall or even a strip mall, it's not looking good. This had a double gap that goes back to $86.50. That's probably where this thing is going to find support. About 86.88 from the November 25th, 2016 high sets up that area of support. So you're probably going to be looking this thing at a few more bucks down in the next couple of days. I don't know of anything that actually makes this any better. And we talked about this for a while, this XRT for the retail sector. You came down on some fairly heavy volume a week ago. Big candles, big volume. You had some kind of, I'm going to call it an over short position in this XRT. It popped. You've got a little doji out here today. To me, if you were looking at some form of ABC to the downside, let's see if this doesn't pop back up. Do I have it? What would that be? 41. Let's do that as a do this one as the B, and today is the C. Okay, overall you got a 70% retracement. You did so into that candle that had 4 million shares. You did that with 2.8 million shares today and gave most of it up. So you got a big supply line at 41 bucks on the XRT. And my guess is it'll be another Amazon Christmas. 1-to-1 takes you to 38.77. The next one takes you to 37.82, and a 1-to-1 5 takes you to, what is that, 37.53. If you go all the way, 1 to 618 takes you to 37.23, and this is just as ugly as you can bet. And there's that big low from August 21st of this year at 37.72. I think that's where it's headed without any big change. STX had earnings this morning and did fairly well. More important than doing well, they had a absolutely massive short position. I'm not a big fan of this sector because I think spinning hard drives are going away. And there's not going to be the kind of margin that they need and the memory that they need in what they have. But it doesn't, people are producing huge amounts of data, and they are the bright spot out here today. But on Friday, this thing had 25% short in it. And normally you have something around 16 to 19% short. This has been a whipping boy. And I think it just caught a lot of people on the wrong side of the trade. We'll be back.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Had an email from John who wanted me to look at Sergeant Electric, soon to be Corporal Electric, and maybe even Private Electric, and asked me what's going on here. And everybody wants to get out of this thing. They didn't get out on Friday, probably because it was options expiration. But I don't see anything else changing in this thing anytime soon. There's a couple of gaps. They're basically into that first gap that goes back to, what is that? August 26, 2015. So what's the low of the day on that day? 2164. That's kind of where you'd want to look at this thing. It had, nice move all the way back down. I don't see anything changing on it. And you've got probably every big fund in the world wanting to get out of it. So I don't know why anybody would be long this thing until all the big guys are done selling. Even then, it's going to be hard. A lot of shares, even with the share buyback, it's going to be very tough for these folks to get and dig out of that hole. Big company like this sometimes can take 6 months to see everybody get out of it. And then maybe there's some kind of value underneath it. But I never liked it. I know a lot of people talked to me about it in the past. I didn't like it then. It's kind of the BlackBerry of big blue chips, isn't it? Just dead, doesn't quite know it's dead, don't know why everything's going south on it, and it was incredibly predictable. So I don't know if there's any reason in the world to buy this thing. Certainly no reason to short it now. So I just would spend my time looking at other things. I don't see a lot going on in this one. We're off 5 points on the S&P cash, down 10 on the Dow, and we're off 20 now on the NASDAQ. Again, this is options rollover, so we're down a little bit today. Expect to be up a little bit tomorrow, and then look for the big move, the true move, to come probably late tomorrow and maybe Wednesday. So somewhere in that probably 9-hour trading window, yesterday or tomorrow afternoon and Wednesday, we're probably going to start seeing some movement in the market. Just, we keep pushing. Eventually this thing is going to have a little bit of market gas and take off the right way. So got a question on Tesla. I haven't looked at this one in a few days. I was hoping that this one went back up so I could get an opportunity to short it again. It's been, beaten on. And the biggest problem I have is unless I get a huge run in this one, let's take a look on Tesla. On Friday, 28% of the shares were shorted. So, with massive shorting like that, it makes it incredibly tough. All they have to come out with is another bovine excrement news story, and you run the shorts. I've got to see a few of those guys run out, and really haven't seen that yet to make it safe to get back in. Just try to stay away from overly shorted stocks. When we shorted it last time, it was up there with no volume and no shorts, and that gives you a good indication that no one's shorting it when there's no volume, nobody buying, and nobody shorting it, and that's normally where you get the big whipsaw moves off the top, as we saw back up there at the 386.98 high. So don't see much in that. Let's take a quick cruise through the Facebook. This one's down a little bit. Not much volume out here. This thing's done nothing but go sideways for the most part since it gapped up back on the 27th of July. You're basically right back into that pattern. Don't see anything that really changes the upside or downside in Facebook at the moment. Maybe something changed, but I don't think so. Take a quick look at Amazon. I don't think we talked about any of these FANG stocks in the last couple of days. We've been looking at other things. Amazon down a little bit today. Volume's a little bit better. This got back up, filled its gap at 120. $1,022. Got up there, spiked it for the day, reversed, and we've just been going sideways. 931 looks like a pretty good bet that this thing gets back down to that level. And again, if you're playing these things, man, I can't imagine playing them on the equity. I certainly would want to be in puts or calls if you thought this thing. I'd probably be more likely to be in puts. But this is interesting. Okay, Kennametal, another one testing its highs over the last couple of days, up at this 42.89 level of April 26th. Got into it June 12th, excuse me. The first one was 2 million shares. That June 12th on 1 million shares. Friday we saw 700,000 shares. This thing's making a little doji out here. Energy wasn't all that bad from the August 3rd low, so there's probably better ones out here. But it looks like this kind of sector pretty smashed with a lot of highs with very light volume in these materials sectors. So I can't be very happy of that. To look at FireEye, F-E-Y-E. Of course, we had a big warning from Homeland Security today on whether or not we should be scared senseless. And you're down a little bit today. With the news, you'd think that this thing probably would be holding up a little bit better. Really hasn't. 15 bucks on this one with light volume would be a pretty nice chart pattern out here. And there's always the opportunity for this thing to come back and test 1035, although I don't think it's going to do that all in one day. But you got a lot of gaps out here. I would like to see at least a 15 tested, and more preferably 13 bucks on a big market pullback. I think you could see that, and I think you'd be all over this with both hands too, but may not be lucky enough to get that kind of pullback in that stock. Okay, we'll take a look at a few other things. Did I do that? Yep, hang on just a second. I think Boeing had some news out here during the day. Let's take a quick look. If I remember right, they sold like $14 billion worth of new planes to somebody, made a new high, but not a lot of juice behind that. I think a lot of people were looking for this deal on Friday when it went up on 4 million shares, up on just 2.3 million shares, went to a new high and is pulled back a bit. So again, at some point, it becomes incredibly tough to find somebody else to buy anything. McDonald's has earnings tomorrow. This one's got a little reversal on it and a little bit of juice, down today with 3.6 billion shares. So, yeah, that doesn't look good at all, does it? Going into earnings. Anyway, that's tomorrow morning. Okay, tomorrow morning. Be back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets, right here on TFNN. Wow!
And we're checking out a few more of these stocks today. Under Armour may be getting rid of a couple of divisions. Again, if I was going to start looking at retail and sports retail and Lulu as doing better, I think maybe we'd want to see some of these things act a little bit better. Right now, they don't seem to be doing much of anything to make me think that this is better. A little bit of reversal from Friday on the news today. You know, you might be making a bottom out here at 16 bucks, but I'd have to wait and see. I'm not predicting one, but there's some signs that maybe that $16 level might be some kind of long-term support. You might find some part of Under Armour, but with the NFL under lower viewership, and doesn't look like those guys are smart enough to figure out what they need to do to get viewers back, makes me think that could be could be that $16 level, might find some other businesses that might be interesting. Let's see, got a quick thing. GDX. I have not looked at this in a couple of days, so let's take a look. The dollar, of course, up 23 cents today, 93.80 on this. Again, we talked about this before it broke. This thing is getting in more and more of an asymmetrical triangle with lower highs and a little higher lows. You're just starting to get into this. Let me turn this off here for a second. Let's zoom in here, pop this up, move this over. For me right now, oh, I didn't want that. I want that. For me, let's get a tool here. Hopefully I have enough time left. Yeah, I got 30 seconds. You kind of want this thing to break one way or the other. You've got this nice little triangle. And if it broke to the downside and you had light volume, that may be your buy. So keep an eye on the GDX next couple of days. You'd love to see this thing down $1 or so and then do a reversal. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.